Boldy James Alchemist. We said this week was heavy for the heads. How we feeling about this one, everybody?
This was my least favorite rap album of the three.
Really?
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't like the second one. I thought. How can I say this? Alchemist does not miss on the production. Let me first say that. I think the production is good. I think it's too long on this album, and certain parts it felt really tedious. Like towards the end, I'm like, can you please hurry up and like get to the conclusion of this story you're telling us? Because I don't think there was many tracks on here that just make me say, "Wow, this is like amazing."
Well,
That was good.
I don't think it was too much of a story. Like I don't know. It wasn't like
I
a
tried to
Dave.
tell one.
It wasn't like a Dave album where it's like, oh, these are stories, like explicit, like beginning, middle, climax, resolution, falling action, whatever. Like these were like more like sentiment pieces, and I liked it for that. I liked what he had to say because he like Boldy James is someone that's like, it's like you don't need to be rapping fast or having the most insane wordplay. It's just like as long as you're getting your wordplay across creatively, your mission's accomplished. And I think the standout for that was Third Person. Also, that's one of my favorite beats on the album. I really liked like how Alchemist flipped a guitar solo into a hip hop beat so naturally, and Third Person that's just talking. That's like him spending the whole track talking about like you couldn't get away with murder more than once,
No.
and just responsibility in that sense, and his kids. Like that wasn't like necessarily saying like the narrative of someone killing someone. It's just like I don't know the sentiment behind it.
Yeah, but like for me, I do wish that he did more cadence switches at the very least. I do agree you can still rap good without having to rap fast or do all these multi-syllable rapping these artists do. But like a change of pace in how he delivers it, I think would have been really good in certain sections of the record. Because at some point it just kind of sounded like you're delivering it the same way, even though it is the same thing, honestly, throughout the album. But like at least a different delivery for me would make it more exciting and how he delivers the bars. But the third person track was really good. I did like photographic memories with art.
Yeah, I really like the way Stevenson put it. Like this the project did kind of bore me after a while. Like I love the Alchemist production. I love that he flipped a lot of classic rock samples on this one. There were a couple songs where he was really in his bag on this one, showing how much of a crate digging vinyl head that he is, you know?
Yeah, I get so surprised how easy it is for him to clear all these samples because I know he like the Alchemist starts his like I watched a documentary about him that he did. It was like he starts his day every day going to the record store, listening for like through vinyls to buy that have like valid samples, and then he spends the rest of the day making beats out of those vinyls.
Yeah,
So
and like
he's buying vinyls a day. He is the king of crate digging.
yeah, of course. And I mean, he's been doing this shit for 30 years since he was growing up in Beverly Hills, raiding all the record shops in LA, you know? I think Freddie Gibbs had the bar of the album when he said Michael Jackson's not dead, he lived in my guest house. I thought that shit was-
I think Freddie Gibbs had one of like not even the verse of the album, but one of his best verses I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, and I always love hearing him and Currency on the same beat. I thought that Fetty project that they had together was insane. Both fairly underground rappers historically, but are now like more mainstream. Stove God Cooks, I love that verse. Earl Sweatshirt, you guys already mentioned it. I think had the best verse, not only just features, but washed Boldy James across the album on every level. But
I feel like every feature kind of outshined Boldy. That's
yeah,
critique.
and that's the big problem. Like I feel like Alchemist was in his bag the whole way, but for Boldy, it wasn't. I don't think it was better than what was it, The Price of Tea in China, which was his last collab with Alchemist, and it really didn't impress me. Like it felt tiresome. It felt a little lazy at some points. I was waiting for him to switch up the flow at some point, maybe.
One of the ones that I enjoyed more this week, in the sense that I like I was captivated the whole time, especially honestly like yeah, throughout I was captivated. I really liked how it started too. I liked the double hockey sticks intro track. I thought the beat switches towards the end, the length of it was pretty cool. It was only 3 minutes and 25 seconds. It felt like a lot longer just because of the beat switches and a lot of variety on one track. I thought that was very well done on the Alchemist part, and I thought Boldy went seamlessly through that. And I really liked the third track.
Brick Model Montana. Yeah, the one with Benny on it.
Yeah,
that one was fire. Yeah, I mean, anytime Boldy, Alchemist, Benny work together. you know it's gonna be heat.
I agree that there were parts of the album where I kind of tuned out a little bit. I actually like the later end of it, like Fake Flowers with Freddie Gibbs is obviously fire. The outro track, like Drug Zone, I really liked like the production on that track. I didn't write down exactly what it was that like really spoke, like really got me about that one, but I just really liked the beat on Drug Zone a lot. But like overall, like I think I just have like kind of similar feelings of just like I think this was really dope. I like there were definitely like a lot of tracks that I put like in my playlist and stuff, but as a whole, the album kind of feel like it went on a little bit too long. But I still really enjoyed it. I'd say throughout, like for the most part. I think it was more like somewhere in the later half of the middle, I kind of felt like I had like heard what this album has to offer, and I was like, all right, I'm ready for whatever else I can listen to right now. I think also because I think I like the second half of the album a lot more just because I also kind of listened to this like in separate sessions. Like I listened to it like, and when I got tired of it, I like finished it and then I kind of came back to it again later and listened to the second half again later.
I think this is a good album to do that with, and most albums aren't, but this is a good album to listen to in sessions. Because if I like Dom, like if I listened to it all throughout like you did, I probably would have gotten bored of it too. But I listened to it in 2 sittings.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it like that.
Yeah, and I mean,
that's
like,
a really good point.
Yeah, but I totally agree with what you guys are saying. But for me, like that hurts the album a lot. Like if you can't sit there and listen through it from track 1 to track 15 or however many songs are on this thing. Like if you have to sit there and say, yeah, I'm gonna take 1 through 7, and then I'm gonna go eat, I'm gonna go work out, and then when I come back, I'm gonna do 8 through 15. Like that. Like I just that shit hurts it a lot for me, and it got very tiresome.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because I don't think most people will listen to one album to finish the album in 2 settings or more or sessions or more. Like if this is an album that has to flow cohesively as a whole, and this doesn't do that. Like I heard this album at work. Okay, like I'm picking up trash cans because people don't know how to act. Not trash because people act like they can't be clean outside. Like I'm tired of y'all niggas. Clean up after yourself outside. Like especially at a park. I'm tired of y'all. But I'm right too. But like. I'm picking up trash, doing my job. I'm like, this album is making me sleepy, dog. Like, as a whole. And then like Diamond, especially from Still Wool, I do not like that record. That is a terrible hook. That hook is so bad. Like, it sounded like I know we said it about the Dave album, but like that literally sounded like a verse that he just put as a chorus because the last line, when he said just like Still Wool. I'm like, this ain't it, dog. Like, this really ain't it. You need to be stopped. And then the other features.
At least they put Earl right after, at the bare minimum.
Exactly. And like the other features showed what I think he was missing. Where even though I think the bars were dope, like he had dope bars, I think the delivery and just the feature acts just brought more life to the project. They had like a bit more energy, and they weren't really rapping faster. They wasn't doing the Eminem rhythmatic hit the paddock bullshit. Like there are like bringing more life to albums than he is, and when you hear him rap to compare with Benny, Freddie, Currency, or even Aura Sweatshirt. And Aura Sweatshirt sound like one of the most laid back motherfuckers when you hear him rap on his projects. And he brings more energy than you.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a good point.
Like I really feel like this like. I feel like this, like, if I was listening to this album at night, I feel like it might have put me to sleep with the way Boldy James was delivering most of these bars. Like, it was very laid back and chill. And, I mean, just like what Stevenson's saying, Earl Sweatshirt always kind of has that laid back type cadence, but there's something about it where his voice and his presence on a song just has so much energy to it where like it makes you like want to listen more, and there wasn't any part on this one where I was listening to something that Boldy James was doing and I like had to run it back or I had to like actually pay more attention.
Now, I would say like Cam, I think Third Person was one of those songs I'm like, okay, he rapping. Drug Zone, I also felt like that too. Even the very first song that Aiden mentioned, Double Hockey Stick. I thought that was a banger of an intro. Like I was expecting like for that to be the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then it was. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't want that. Like that what it really was. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm full of this. I want it, and then you got to the end. I'm like, yeah, I could have done with like 6 out of 14. And, no, and I think that would hurt. What he did best, he did it too much. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I was talking to one of my roommates before I was listening to this album, and I was getting his opinions on The Alchemist as a producer, because I was like, like, I don't know if you like fuck with The Alchemist as a producer, because like it doesn't sound like he's doing anything all that technical besides taking samples, looping them, and just finding the parts of records where he could turn it into beats to rap on. I mean, essentially that's what he started as, and that's what he is now, but in a much more technical sense, and it's so subtly technical. But yeah, no, that's all it was for a while, because that's what you had access to in the 90s when he started and stuff. So and then he made the point that like The Alchemist more than anything is a curator, and like that's what he's doing with the samples, and that's what he's doing with the features. So back to your guys' point of the features, I think that's just a testament of The Alchemist being someone who makes things happen, puts things together, who's a curator. And with the Freddie and the Earl feature, and the Benny feature, yeah, that's a very obvious representation of that.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of unfortunate, because I think this is the best produced Alchemist project that we've gotten out of him this year. Like, I think the production on this one is better than Haram, personally.
Really? Oh, wow.
Personally.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like this is the worst collaborative album that we've gotten from him this year. I think Haram worked much better as a album as a whole, and I like that one a lot better than this one, because Arm & Hammer had actually like tried to match The Alchemist like energy, and they actually like they fit a lot better over the beats.
The Alchemist really matched Arm & Hammer's energy.
Yeah.
It was a good meeting of the minds. This one, I think Boldy James and The Alchemist are one and the same in their laid back personas, where it's not like challenging either of them to go out of their comfort zones. It's just they're very comfortable with each other. So I could see them just this being a product of them just like enjoying to smoke together, all the time, and just making music while smoking.
But it's just a perfect fit that maybe if they trimmed it down 4 songs.
Yeah,
we probably have a whole different, because even though I do agree as of right now, I probably have to look into it, what Dom said about this might be the worst collab. I don't think this is a bad album at all. I really don't. It's just kind of uninteresting after the first couple tracks.
Yeah, I like, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like I don't think this is a bad album by any means. I don't think it's something where like if one of these tracks, if almost any of these tracks came up on like a shuffle on Spotify, like I wouldn't be mad about it, But the project as a whole was just very sleepy and honestly kind of forgettable.
I don't know about forgettable for some. I mean, yeah, as a project, maybe. I don't think it'll be a classic. I did like I thought there was just standout songs. I really liked what The Alchemist was doing here. I liked what, like I said before, Boldy really impressed me on some songs, especially third person. But I really liked what The Alchemist was doing here. It was a little bit more exciting than what he usually does, to some degree. Where it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of energy on a lot of these beats. Even if it gives off the aesthetic of being sleepy, that's just kind of the laid back sound that The Alchemist goes for. But like I said before, keep on going back to third person, that was a guitar solo that he sampled. There's a few more samples that I'm forgetting. EPMD. I thought that was a really cool sample flip, and I thought Boldy's flow there was perfectly fine.
So how we feeling? We think this is gonna be making our list, honorable mention?
No.
Bro, it just seems like everyone has been trying, like the past few weeks since we've been doing this, like everyone's trying to put out a classic album.
Everyone's trying to impress us, dog.
Yeah. And yeah,
because we the shit, first off. Like
Bo Jackson was crying in the studio. He's like, I gotta get on the Traklife top 10. He was screaming at the Alchemist, grabbing him by the shirt. He's like, I need this, my career. Like, but like, I don't know.
Welcome to the Traklife YouTube channel. We are the New Music Release Club. I am Dom.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Stevenson. Here's the links at the bottom of the YouTube page. Subscribe and check out more content from the Music Release Club.
Yeah, check out our album reviews. We also got live sessions, raw stream, all that good stuff right here on the Traklife YouTube page.